When the gate opens for the first time, it reveals wonders. Paths trodden by feet long still, hidden corners once alive with voices now silent. A secret garden, tended and restored by a man who found it in a state of disarray just a few short years ago.
Super overgrown, huge trees that made it actually quite cold in here even in the summertime, which was when I bought it. And so I had to take the big overgrown trees down, and then all of a sudden it changed the look of it, but I think it also took it back closer to when he started the garden.
He was Robert Eller, a Canadian artist who was known internationally, not just for his art, but for his work teaching and sharing the gift of creativity.
He was recognized in bodies such as the United Nations and for his work with children in residential schools and in Canadian prisons. He attended some of the great art schools and was mentored by the great Group of Seven member Arthur Lisbeth.
You could tell that somebody special had made this garden, had done it themselves. I'm an old antique dealer actually, and to kind of recognize things that have been done well, and I just fell in love with it.
He was extremely generous, and in terms of his own home and his gardens, he created a little Eden.
You did get a sense, and I found myself, when I went to do something, I said, oh, I'd even say Robert, and how would you do this? Kind of based on the feeling I had for the place.
In fact, the entire restoration of this garden has been based on Robert Eller's original vision, which is as it should be. Eller holds a unique place in the history of Canadian art and was the guiding force behind the formation of Port Alberni's Community Arts Council, gifting the Society a collection of 20 artworks that represent the depth and breadth of West Coast Canadian art.
We had the privilege of selecting paintings from his collection, and it is a marvelous collection. We've got a painting by Arthur Lisbeth, member of the Group of Seven. We also have a couple by Norval Morisot, painting by our own George Cloutessy.
Morisot, Cloutessy, Wright, Ames, Lismer. The donation list goes on and on. A gift so generous that its value to the community is difficult to even calculate. But Eller himself was perhaps the greatest gift. A man who saw and created beauty everywhere, and whose spirit seems to permeate the garden he built with such love.
Kind of a sense, but not the spooky one. I think just a sense, an aura maybe of what somebody has done, the things they've left. You can see their handprints on.
The Eller property is privately owned, but remains an important part of Port Alberni's history. Its restoration keeping the artist's legacy of generosity alive. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Nancy Wilmot.